Thank you, Moderator. My full names are Regina Maambo Muzamai. I'm the Director at the African Union Commission Oversight, Office of Internal Oversight. It's actually an honor for us to service and audit such a big organization. The African Union Commission is the secretariat of the AU, and the AU has got about 11 organs, standalone organs, which includes like the Pan-African Parliament, the AU UDA-NEPAD, we call it UDA-NEPAD. And then we also have the APRM. These three big organs are based here in South Africa. And then we have, of course, the Secretariat, which is in Ethiopia as the Secretariat of the African Union. And Ethiopia is the capital or the headquarters of the African Union. And then we have, of course, others which are spread across the continent. All the AU organs are within the continent, but we have got other offices which are outside the continent. We have got the peace operations offices also, and we also have the technical offices, like we have the AU IBA, which deals with the animal resources for the continent. So that's how we are. So the complexity, as you have said, is that the organization itself is huge, the mandate is huge, and it covers all the organs of the African Union. We may not audit it down on individual member states, but there are some elements that we also audit in the member states. For example, those which have got peacekeeping missions, we normally go there to see how the peace operations are going there, are doing down on the continent, and also those with the troop contributing countries. We also sometimes go to the countries to verify the soldiers, to see how the families of the soldiers were compensated. So basically, we do a lot also directly to some member states. And then on the organs also, like now we have the Agenda 2063, which we look at as a function. So we have basically more like moved away from what we call financial or compliance focus of type of audit. We also do now a lot of performance audits where we look at the implementation of the Agenda 2063, the 10-year implementation plans, which are broken down in annual plans. So we normally monitor a lot of those things. And because of what we are doing, both the member states and the partners, they have confidence in our work, and that's how now it brings the evolution of the function. The function was started in 2006. It was just a small department headed by the director, but very small, very lean, until 2020. That's when the member states realized that we are doing a lot of work. They expanded our mandate, they expanded our structure. Now, imagine the structure of about 9. It was moved to about 36. And when we add all the audit functions of the organs, we are about 46. Actually, we are about 50 now, because of the new organs that came into being after 2020. So they have expanded it so big, and they have given us mandate. Like now, under peace and security, we are also allowed now to audit the violation of human rights in the peacekeeping operations. You remember that it used to be only UN, yes, which used to do that. Yes. Even in AU mission countries, or yes, but now we have been given that mandate, that as AU, the member states want to know If there is any reporting of violation of human rights in the peacekeeping mission, they want us to check and report to them on what is going on. And also we report it direct to the member states. On the function of our work, we report to the member states. We report it through what we call the subcommittee on audit matters and risk management, which is in the IIA, it's audit committee. So we report that. It's a composition of 15 member states. The membership is at ambassadorial level, but they usually get experts to help them to do that work. So currently our chairperson of the audit committee is the ambassador of Cote d'Ivoire. So that's how we do. So it's a very big mandate, and the member states have confidence in us, and they know that once we are there, we are also checking on the implementation of the program, the deliverables, the attainment of the goals that have been set, because we now have a full-fledged performance audit division. It's a division now, it has got its own structure, and it's there, it's running there. We also have what we call now forensic audits. We do comprehensive audit or investigations now. We do ICT because the organization has automated all its systems. So we also do the audit of the ICT within the union, and of course we have the normal financial audit, which we have also separated it. It's also on its own or as a division. So that's how the department has evolved, and that's how also even our own function has evolved. And we report it twice in a year. We report to the member states because, according to IIA, we are supposed to report to the audit committee at least 4 times in a year. But for us, we report to the audit committee. We report like every month. We have meetings of the audit committee, but the audit committee now consolidate the report and submit to the Council of Ministers 2 times in a year. We have the mid-year, and then we have the end of the year, which is in the margins of the main summit, the summit of the African heads of state. So basically that's how we are. So I'll start with the second question on the how do I ensure that I have the multi-skilled team. To start with, when we do the terms of reference, like now when I talk of human rights, even the terms of reference, it has to do with somebody who has done human rights. So we don't only have financial auditors, we have lawyers within the team. Now we have lawyers, we have the police, those who have got police background, we have got the lawyers who have got the law background, we have the ICT, we have the people who have done comprehensive performance audits in the government. Of course, as at now, we are still heavily on the financial auditors. This is the accountants, but we have other skills. So on peacekeeping missions, what we normally do, also we normally get experts from our colleagues who are specialized in peacekeeping. So that one also we are still engaging our colleagues to do that. But in the future, we are planning to have all these multi-skilled functions, technical skills to be within our team. But for now, we are also still relying on our colleagues. And also we have the Board of External Auditors. So there are some times when we know that we cannot fulfill exactly what the member states or what the risk area is all about. We normally hand it over to the Board of External Auditors, are the ones who do that. Now on the training also, of course, these skills now, the terms of reference, the job specification, the job description include now the specifications. Now when the auditors are now recruited, we have an annual program to ensure that each auditor should have a training every year. this training is not only for them to get the units under the requirement of the CPD, which we get as if professionals, but also to improve the operations of the function. Because even when we started doing like performance audit, it was through the training under AfroSci that we got that training. And before we went into standalone performance audits, even the way we were doing the financial audits, we completely changed, because we realized that even if we are doing financial audit, we have to look at the root cause. Exactly what happened. Was it a performance issue? Was it a governance issue? Was it? So within that, we managed to change the format of our reporting completely. We started now putting systems, sections, governance section, mandate, achievement of mandate section. The whole report completely changed before we even started doing standalone performance audits. So the training is something that we do not compromise. Even at the member states level, when we are presenting our annual budget, we have told them, for the auditors to perform, for the auditors to live in line with the requirement of the standards, which the function itself, the internal audit evolves like any other profession. It evolves every day. Now we have the new global standards. So imagine if we were not allowing auditors to attend such conferences, we wouldn't have even known, unless if we had known through the internet. So all these are the things that we normally emphasize to member states to say, this one, we need it. And member states, because of the confidence that they have in us, they have allowed us to have all those annual trainings every year. Of course, we really rely 100% on member states and a few partners here. We may not, like now, would have brought the whole department, but we couldn't bring the whole department. We just brought a few staff to represent us. And when these staff go out of here, they are going to do like we normally have a retreat where all the trainings we have had during the year, the participants take through the entire team to show what we have done, and we make action plans on what are we going to do, how are we going to improve our operations because of this training that we have done, and we do an action plan. And these are the action plans that have helped our department to add value, our department to improve. The union has confidence in us. The union have confidence. At that one, we are grateful to the member states, because even the member states themselves, they have confidence in our work. On the issue of the citizens, we do not, as I said earlier on, we do not reach on the ground in general, but we reach in some aspects. But one thing that we have made sure is to make sure that the accountability is upheld in the union. We know that these funds come from member states. These are taxpayers' money. And for the taxpayers' money to be used effectively, accountability and responsibly, we have to make sure that we report to the member states on how the monies from their countries have been used. So indirectly, we can assure the citizens that the funds that come from member states at the union level, we are the oversight, and we are the one who check and know how those funds have been used. If there's any malappropriation of the funds, we put those people in the book through the reports that we do, whether investigations report or the normal reports. And is there any money that may have been misappropriated, it has been paid back, and it has been used for the intended purposes. Of course, in any institution, you'll find some gaps here and there, individuals wanting to have personal benefits, but on overall, the union has operated responsibly and accountable. African Union is an international organization, and the entry level, like for my function, the entry level is what we call junior auditors, junior investigators, or junior performance auditors. So the requirement is at least a degree. A degree, we don't normally put a finance. We put public administration, we put economics, we put accounting, we put, to some extent, even in marketing. In marketing there is business administration. So we put all those management, that is for the accountants now, the financial auditors. But for the investigation, we have lawyers, so a degree maybe in law, a degree in law, and then for ICT, a degree in ICT, the way they call it, in ICT, and so forth and so forth. So basically, it being an international organization, the entry level is a degree. And of course, we say a few experience, and we have what we call youth volunteers. Actually, I speak now to the African youth. There is a program which is called Youth Volunteer. Even now, I think on the AU website is running, where they get thousands and thousands of Africans youth who want to have experience in working in the African Union. So far, I have got 4 of the youth volunteers. I have 1 in financial audit, I have 1 in ICT, then I have 1 in performance audit, I have 1 in performance audit. So once they do those applications, they go through the normal selection, because it's also attached to the member states. It's a program that the member states are following up. And once they are selected, managers are asked to apply or to request. Then after we request, we give the specification. After we give the specification, then they go in the database. They look at those who fit to be in auditing, investigation. Then they send the CVs to us. Then we sit down with the HR and the youth division now to do the selection. So they should apply, they can be selected. The auditors, we are here, we can select you, you can be selected sometimes even in finance. So we do that. And of course, when we do open the positions also, it's always on the website. All African Union jobs are put on the website. So also there we encourage the youth, the citizens of Africa at large, to always check on the website of the African Union. We have got openings that are there. For internal audit, it's not only at the Commission. We have at Pan-African Parliament, there are also some positions there for auditors. At NEPAD here in South Africa, they are there. At APRM also, we have opened 1 position. So the positions are in some of the AU organs, but the majority of the staff are at the Commission where we reside in Addis Ababa. Beyond any qualification, I think as a citizen, you can still belong to the African Union. That's why sometimes we normally have volunteers. For example, when we had the outbreak of COVID, I think, we had a lot of volunteers. Some of the volunteers didn't even have qualifications even on national levels, but they were picked to work for the African Union. So sometimes in case the citizens may say that, no, but I don't have a qualification, how can I be associated with the African Union? There are sometimes some volunteer work that do not need qualifications, but the most important thing that we can advise, especially the young people that can still manage to go through, is to upgrade ourselves. We should always upgrade ourselves. When I did my degree on campus, but all the other qualifications that came after, I did them outside the normal structure of education. So especially nowadays, we have got a lot of institutions that offer evening classes. Even if your job is demanding, you can still spare your evening, your weekend, to do some upgrading of your work. Even online, now there's online. You can do online to upgrade your status and your career as an individual.